Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Round, round, get around, I get around, yeah, get around.
Bree and Renee, we're getting around tonight, y'all, and I don't mean in a bad way. Hello, and thank you for joining us on the AFTERBUZZ TV Total Divas After Show. This was Season 5, Episode 8, Piece of Cake. EACE, people. Peace. My name is Christy Olson, and I have got the whole crew with me tonight. You guys can tweet us all at AFTERBUZZ TV. Follow the whole team. You can hit me up personally at Christy Reports, and always remember to use the hashtag ABTV Total Divas. We would love to hear your tweets, and we are on YouTube, iTunes, and SoundCloud. Please leave a little comment and let us know what you think about this show, the Total Divas show. Give us 5-star rating. Please hit that thumbs up button, because you know I love that. Do it just for me. And who is this crazy character next to me making hand signs?
I am George Hermoza. You can hit me up at 310-555-1212. On the Twitter and Instagram.
I will give out your real number, George Hermoza.
No,
I will do it.
Really?
No.
You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram, ghermoza, GHERMOZA.
All right.
I guess that's my cue. Hey guys, it's Megan. I'm so happy to be back. I was a little buzzy at the office last week, but so excited to be back. I'd rather be here. You guys can tweet me at Megan Stecher.
Hi everyone, I'm Paulina Aguilar, and you guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar.
All right. Everybody's looking good tonight, if I do say so myself.
We tried.
I only made one panelist take off an article of clothing this week.
And it wasn't
any of the ladies.
I still have on my clothes on.
And I have my shirt on, so you can figure out what she asked me to take off.
Ooh. It is that kind of a saucy night tonight, you guys. This one opens up with a little Nikki Bella quote, and she says, "I am not controlling. I am looking out for her well-being, and she should listen." And we're like, oh no, who is she? What is she doing to threaten her well-being? Well, Bree wants to get a scooter.
Yes.
I just wanted to give you all a moment to pick your jaws up off the floor. Yes, Brie Bella, on the advice of one Renee Young, wants to get a scooter instead of a second car. Well, George turned it on. Instead of a second car, because they think, that would be a great way to get around old Phoenix, which is what I like to call it. People, what do you think about this? Scooter instead of a second car? Does this make sense to anyone? We all live in LA, so I'm guessing no.
I mean, it makes sense
like
for
a Vespa?
them. It makes sense for them.
Like a Vespa.
Like a Vespa.
I would say get a motorcycle. I'm on that motorcycle boat.
No.
And especially in LA.
You're on the motorcycle boat. I like that.
I know, right? No, get through traffic way faster.
No,
here in LA.
I'm on the scooter bandwagon. It doesn't make sense for me personally based on where I live and where I have to get in this city. Mm-hmm. But if I could have the one car, one scooter, I totally would. I think it's super fun for all your little quick trips. You get a little fresh air. You're scooting and being cool. I think motorcycles are way more deadly. And I think it's way better for the environment, and it's way cheaper.
Okay.
I love Brie, so obviously I'm on the train. But no, I think it's the perfect situation. My boyfriend and I talked about this being because we had one car for almost 3 years when we first moved here. And now I have my own. But we were just discussing what else we could do besides buying a whole second car.
Right.
It's just a lot. We only have one parking spot at the apartment, so.
Well, I just don't know how I would justify forcing my husband to drive me around everywhere if we had the car and the scooter.
Well, for them right now, it's she's away so often, they don't need the two cars.
Right.
So it's rare that they're home together and need to schedule who's using the car.
Yeah, Herm, are we going to see you scooting around LA anytime soon?
Maybe Santa Clarita once I move up there. But I don't know, when they were talking about the scooters, I was envisioning the scooter with the sidekick kind of thing. And I totally saw Bree as
That is
driving thing, and then Brian
Right,
sitting
that's
in
okay.
the like the
sidecar.
passenger with the helmet and the goggles or whatnot. That's what I was thinking. So when I saw
He's
the
got
two
some Becky
scooters,
Lynch goggles.
when I saw the two scooters, I'm like, oh really? That's what they're doing.
Can Claire Bowie do a mock-up for us?
Yes!
Yes, we need to see a photo of this.
I love it. I love it.
It kind of
Well,
makes me want one though. Like they look like so much fun. They look
Yeah,
so
They
they
are.
look they're having so much
Have you
fun.
ever been on a bike? Never?
Like a
have you
bicycle?
ladies? No, not a
On a
bicycle,
motorcycle?
but like,
Well, yeah.
no,
I've
well,
not
like
been on a motorcycle.
No, it is the most like freeing, liberating thing. My dad rides, so I ride with him, and I'm just like having a moment and going through the air, and I'm like observing nature and the freeway and all this stuff, and it's amazing. I love it. You need to give it a try.
I love that you love it.
I
Paulina.
love it. No, I will get my motorcycle license eventually.
Is that what you
When
did for
I
your
learn.
birthday? You weren't here last week, so we couldn't
I
talk
was
about your
sick.
birthday.
I was sick. I had fun. I went to a 70s bar here in Hollywood.
You went
and
to 70 bars.
a 70s.
Oh, okay.
A 70s
I mixed
themed
up that-
bar
I mixed up
here
where
in
that S
Hollywood.
went.
It's called Good Times at Davy Wayne's, and if you're in the area, you have to check it out. I loved it. They had like the good times. They had snow cones, and like they brought out the beer and like an oldies like ice chest thing. I don't know. It was really awesome. And the way that they decorated it in vinyls and stuff like that. It was cool.
And no one got you a scooter.
I know one got me a scooter. So,
Or a motorcycle.
Yeah, you guys can send that on over.
Well, I'm with you on the motorcycle thing because I
Yes.
think that's cool, and I think if you're riding a motorcycle, then you're taking a chance on a scooter too of being
Right.
like thrown to the gravel to your death. But like you're so much cooler on a motorcycle that it's almost worth it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I know someone
Yes.
who was literally injured horribly on a scooter,
Yeah.
and she was barely driving. She was pulling out of a parking space and someone didn't see her and just ran into her. She was out of work for a month. It was my boss. I didn't have to do anything for a month, so it's fine. But it can be super dangerous. Like, it shouldn't be downplayed when Nikki was saying like, oh, this is a big deal. I mean, it kind of is a big deal.
It is, but you can get hurt doing anything. I've
true.
had a friend in high school get hit by a car trying to cross the street, and that was the driver's fault. So I mean, anything could happen. I think it's just a matter of what kind of risk you want to put yourself in. I mean, if I'm gonna have fun, and if I'm gonna die on a motorcycle doing it cool, I don't know. I mean, that's my thing though.
And normally them, especially when they're so environmental, so the fact that it gets like 100 miles per gallon, like it's like they're
Yeah.
gonna save so much just by not driving their car and taking the scooter.
Right. And guys, if you do, ride out there, be safe. I mean, let's not be dumb and do all these tricks and things like that. So, I mean, I feel like as long as you're smart about it.
That's right. We will see you if you see us.
If
Or
Daniel
whatever.
Bryan could buy the Flintstones car to save gas
He
in
would.
the world, he totally
He
would.
totally would. He
What
looks
a photo op that would be, right?
Barney Rubble.
I love it. Well, I'm just getting our live chat rolling here, guys. I had a little trouble at the beginning, but I would love to hear what you all have to say, too. Are any of y'all scooting around? Oh, hey! Montserrat Geraldine said, Happy International Women's Day.
Yes.
Yes.
Woo, sorry, George.
Yeah. There are very few shows, I feel like, that are more girl power than Total Divas.
So wait, does that
Very
mean that
few.
are they celebrating women internationally, or are they just celebrating women who are not American?
It's International Women Day, not women. Oh, I see what you're saying.
So are they just?
Oh,
I
good
mean,
point.
maybe Paulina, but maybe not you two.
No, I think it's women around
I guess
the world.
maybe for you, maybe it's
Women
happy
around the world.
National Women's Day for other
Celebrating
days.
all women
Okay, internationally.
All women.
and no borders.
Because none of my
Yes.
none of my Peruvian family is celebrating that, so I'm just throwing it
They
out there.
didn't get the memo.
I can't even keep up with National Cupcake Day. If that
I
if
know,
that's
right?
even a thing. I don't understand. This is the one thing about
But
America I just don't get.
If anything, I think today's like Pancake Day.
It was
It
National
is.
Oreo Day on Sunday. Oreos are vegan, people. Eat those Oreos.
Yeah, today's Pancake Day. I did not go get
I didn't go
pancakes.
either.
I did not wake up early
You
enough for that.
guys-
It's from 7 to 7.
Oh,
Do you
How do you not wake up?
well, I'm late
Okay,
anyway.
do you
here
know
in
who would
LA.
be going crazy over this conversation right now? A one pregnant Miss Rosa Mendez.
Yes.
Who is experiencing some major cravings. So she doesn't want pancakes and stuff though. She wants cake and cookies and whipped cream and
pancake.
ice cream. Maybe one pancake?
Pancake is still a cake.
Oh, well, that's true. All right. She can have pancakes. She can have pancakes. Well, the interesting thing about this is that she says, I've been dieting for 9 years as a diva. And at first I was like, oh man, that sucks. That's so sad. And then I was like, oh, that's so our lives in Hollywood. That's so sad. Do you ladies feel like I know. Do you ladies feel like your life is a diet?
No, I've never
No.
dieted in my life.
Me either.
Ever.
And they're both thinner than me, people. For those of you podcasters who are listening.
I have to say, like, I'm super lucky that I got my mom's good genes and, like, really good metabolism. But I don't think it's going to last forever. But right now, and I just can't diet. So if I ever were going to have to, like, watch what I ate, I just have to be, like, healthy 90% of the time. I do, for the most part, I want to say, like, 70% of the time I eat pretty decently healthy.
Pretty good.
But I mean, if I ever would need to like lose weight or, you know, it'd have to be like a slow, gradual change of diet and lifestyle, not like I'm going on a diet.
Would you be nervous if you got pregnant about gaining weight, or that would change your
No,
metabolism?
I think
that we're
I'd
all
be
very
like
jealous of?
Rosa and be super excited to like eat whatever you want and nobody can say anything to you and you can like gain all that weight. It
Yeah.
would suck to lose it after, but I think it's like in your mind, it's the greatest excuse. I am a huge sweet tooth cookie junkie monster, so yeah.
Biggest sweet tooth indulgent. What do you like?
Oh,
Your favorite?
oh my God, Oreos.
Yes.
Cookies of all kinds. Right now I have Girl Scout tag-alongs at home in the freezer waiting for me. And I love popcorn. Basically any junk food. Potato chips. Dipping potato chips in cream cheese. I have
that's good.
problems.
What?
So good.
Chat. Oh, the chat. Oh, I couldn't. It started, but then it froze. I'm sorry.
No.
I know.
Our
I'm sorry.
chat.
George is maybe getting it.
Oh, I was going to show you something.
Oh,
That's
okay.
pretty
Well,
important.
anyway.
Well, you were going to ask me something, though, about maybe the
I was
sweet
gonna.
tooth
Would
diet.
you be worried about your waistline if you got preggers?
Absolutely not. I'm not worried about that right now.
Well, meanwhile, Paige has a little match with Naomi. They literally throw down. If you need a little women's inspiration, go ahead and check out that match. And this is just interesting because Paige brags at this point about being in I'm in every storyline and I'm in every match and I'm so important to this Divas Revolution. And you guys maybe don't know this, but she has been all but pretty much eliminated from everything for the past couple months and she's barely been around. So it was just sort of interesting to see her be like, I'm the leader of the show, because it's like that can change so quickly in WWE, and that's probably why you shouldn't be cocky about it, Paige. Right, George?
I think she's so young. You know what I
really
mean?
is.
It's kind of like they gave her too much to do, you know?
And it's funny
it
'cause
was overwhelming her.
She's young, but she's got experience. Like, she's been wrestling since she was like 14. So I mean, I think you can only go so far with the age thing.
Okay.
Because it's like, I mean, you're still young maybe in life, but for being a veteran of like the professional wrestling for 9 years, you're still kind of looked at a veteran in some ways. So I think she still needs to get, or she's set an example in many ways, just because, and not use her age as an excuse either. What do you guys think?
No, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just need to cut the immaturity stuff.
Yeah,
I
and
think.
I've said that since day one. That's my biggest thing in age. But my biggest thing of age with her is her life situations that she's in, not so much the wrestling world of it.
Tell me more about this her being cut out stuff. Is this because of like behavior behind the scenes?
It's
or
because
just...
3 other chicks who came up after her are getting all the attention, and they're the ones who are going to get the big match at WrestleMania instead of her.
See, and that's another thing. It's like you have to appreciate what you've got while you've got it and work it, because it's like they gave her all that responsibility, and it was, you know, great for her to be in the middle of everything and all these storylines and wrestling on all the different shows, and then all of a sudden she doesn't have it anymore, and they probably noticed that she wasn't totally respectful of
Yes.
the limelight they put her in. And I mean, it's probably a whole bunch of other factors as far as like who the audience wants to see more, but it's also like they were like, okay, she doesn't want all this responsibility, forget it, she can't handle it, forget it. And you don't realize what you have till it's gone.
Right. That's so true. Well, I want to take a little sec to give a shout out to one of our very young fans.
Yay.
Angie Harris in the chat says her little diva was in her first pageant this weekend. She used the Total Divas theme song for the bathing suit portion. Girl power. I love that.
God.
Her name is Bella, and she got 2nd place in her division. Congratulations, Bella. Oh my God, I love it.
Bella Army.
Yes.
So cute.
And my
love
gosh. If Bella's already winning crowns at her age, I think we're talking about a future Miss USA here.
Oh my god, yeah.
By then, I'll be hosting the Miss USA pageant like Juliana Rancic does. I'll see you there, Angie Harris.
I love it.
Thanks for watching. All right, well, Nikki talks to Renee about her concerns about this scooter. And speaking of scooters, someone else kind of comes into the scene here. This is a little guy called Zeb Coulter. I just called him a little guy. That's kind of weird, huh? Yeah. Well, he was injured at this point, right? That's why he was in the scooter?
No, he
had surgery? He's just old?
No, he just old and just for show.
Well, he seemed like he would give good scooter advice, but really he was just kind of like, who are these? I don't know what's going on. I don't get these cameras on my face.
Asking if he gets paid for this. Maybe he gets that extra Total Divas money.
Yeah, right.
From E.
He's on a rascal, not a scooter. There is a difference.
Oh,
I feel like a rascal would be so much safer.
I don't know what a rascal
A
is.
rascal is like the old people scooter, so that they could get around the house.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to like
supermarket.
a Vespa, which is like a street legal
I didn't know
scooter.
that. Oh.
Wait,
Yeah.
do you guys remember that infomercial for them where the old people were doing like a choreographed dance where they were like spinning in a circle?
No.
Oh my god, it was so good.
I feel like everyone's going to YouTube it now. Because it sounds entertaining.
It wasn't the Rascal brand, it was a different brand. Oh my god, it was so good.
Well, they are not convinced. And meanwhile, we learn that Paige's mom is coming to visit. Her and Kevin are at the grocery store. Everything seems super awkward. I'm thinking they already broke up, but they have to pretend for the cameras. Or Paige is just broken up in her mind and Kevin doesn't know it yet. I couldn't really decide which was which. What did you guys think?
I mean, I thought it was like just weird. I think it was real, but it's just weird because she was like, "Oh, we have to pretend that everything's okay when my mom comes." It's like, why? Just
Right.
be honest with her. That's how you dig yourself in holes. Is when you start. I don't want to go as far as saying lying. When you start putting yourself in a situation that you don't want to be in.
I do understand where Paige is coming from because I do remember back in my 20s, like not wanting my parents.
You're not in your 20s?
I'm not.
I know, that's what I said earlier.
Thank you guys. We do all have really good lighting on me right now. I just remember like not wanting my parents to know what was really going on in my personal life, because if you were fighting with someone but you stayed together, you didn't want them to know that. And then like if you were gonna break up soon, you didn't want them to know that. Or if you had just broken up, it was like too fresh for you to talk about. So I understand where Paige was coming from, but I think as a viewer, us feeling like we knew her so well, we watch her get engaged on camera, everything, it's like, well, why can't you tell your mom?
It was frustrating.
Yeah.
I think what we don't see is just maybe how close they are, especially now that we kind of find out they're only, I don't want to say only, but they're 20 years apart. And so you know, her mom is maybe relatively young still, and maybe went through a lot of those same things that she said.
Right.
So again, I don't think that we saw just maybe how close that they are, just as far as maybe she's used to telling her mom everything. So maybe because as we clearly saw that her mom is very fond of Kevin, almost as if that was maybe the main reason why she was kind of holding back on telling her that. That's what I saw it as.
Yeah, well, when Sweet Soraya does touch down, she looks super young.
Yes.
Speaking of her only being 20 years, I mean, it's like, oh my gosh. And you guys pointed out, Paige has older brothers. So I don't know when Sweet Soraya started popping out babies.
Well,
but
I looked it up. I guess her dad had one kid, so that doesn't count. But her older brother from, the same parents is like a year and a half older. Wow. Maybe 2 years.
Dang.
So she had the first brother maybe at 17 or 18, and then probably at 20 years old.
And she's still in the ring, right? She still works regularly.
Nuts.
It's unbelievable, right?
Age is a state of mind.
And it's funny, like whenever they were together on the same screen, it literally looked like they were friends. Like it looked like they were friends
that
or
was crazy.
sisters or whatever.
That's
it's like,
what it
wow.
looked like when they went to go jump on the trampoline.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to one of those trampoline parks.
Me too.
We have those in California, people. I don't know if you've seen those in other parts of the world. Is that like a thing?
Yeah.
I know they don't have them in Minnesota. Where
There's actually a bunch near my parents in Pennsylvania and Delaware.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, is it spread to Middle America? Are they jumping on the tram?
They're not too far from the coast. They're like a 2-hour drive
that's
from the
right.
coast. So it's kind of coastal.
Well, at the bar, her mom did get a little momly, like, well, I think it hit you too hard and we need to go get something to eat. There was a little mom moment there.
By the way, AJ0314 had something very funny to say on the chat. Because I guess maybe the stream that they're watching maybe has a lot of pauses, and he said this stream has more pauses than a Diva swimsuit DVD. I think that's funny. So kudos AJ0314.
That is pretty good,
hilarious.
AJ. Oh, well, we're sorry that we're not streaming clearly to you, AJ.
Sorry.
I know, but that was a really, really funny joke. It's almost worth it. So thank you. So, meanwhile, over there on Craigslist, Keon posts a couple scooters. We don't know Keon, but we're going to meet him real soon. They meet in a parking lot. This was so funny how paranoid Brie was about Craigslist because, first of all, it's the middle of the day. You're with Renee, and of course, you're not just going to go, like, walk in this guy's house. Maybe he has them parked in his driveway or whatever it was. When Brian, later in the episode, made the reference of, like, oh, I worry about you more checking into hotels at 3 a.m., I was like, isn't that what you're scared about? Isn't that what you think about? You would just think that Renee and Brie being as, like, you know, girl powery as they have to be. Yeah, they're traveling the world all the time. I was surprised that Brie was that apprehensive about the Craigslist thing.
Honestly, I have never ordered anything on Craigslist, nor will I ever.
No, why?
Mostly because I don't.
I love buying furniture on Craigslist. It's my favorite.
It's mostly because you don't know the history of whatever it is that you're buying.
I think it just depends. Well, I don't know about furniture because I don't know what people do on those couches.
No, you do know. That's why you wouldn't get furniture on it.
Oh my God.
I wouldn't, but she does.
I actually did buy a bed.
Dude, half the furniture in my apartment was just left outside our other apartment building. I swear to God. Chair, love seat, 2 shelves, almost everything we have was somebody else's at some point.
Bar was on the side of the road in the Palisades, and it's awesome.
You have a bar?
Yeah,
I
see,
find a bar on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yeah, see, Craigslist, you gotta be careful though. I mean, I've been gypped for concert tickets before.
See, I wouldn't.
That pissed me off. I didn't have to
Was
go
that
meet
before
anybody.
StubHub?
No. It was just a last minute Justin Timberlake concert and I wanted tickets and then he stole my money. But, so be careful out there. And then I got, my boyfriend at the time, I got him a guitar from an older guy. I had to go to his house and stuff like that.
Ooh.
It was fine. He had met him before, all that stuff. And I bought my dog off of Craigslist, but I went with like 2 other people. And so, I mean, I wasn't like dumb
I
about
think
it.
that's the
don't
basic
go alone.
rule. Is
Yeah.
like
You
you
don't
meet
go
in a
alone.
very public place.
Yeah.
Daylight.
And you take Renee Young with you.
She had a lot of
And
airtime
my
this episode.
husband's
today.
coming. That was the best part. Brie yelling over into the phone, and my husband's coming.
He was like, okay.
You know, I will take this opportunity to say that I think Nikki needs a blonde friend with a microphone that she can do her Nikki stuff with. Because Nene
snap.
and Brie are all like crunchy and they do
So
their
are
scooter
they-
thing. Nikki needs somebody to go shopping with.
Are they friends in real life?
Yes, very
Renee
much
and
so.
Brie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought they were like a really cute duo together.
Yeah, they're
Okay.
great friends.
Renee's really cute.
She is cute. She
George.
made reference today to we have car, we have this and that, and she's dating this like really high profile wrestler that if you guys aren't wrestling fans, if you Googled him, you probably think he's very attractive. It's Dean Ambrose.
Really? You
Check
think
him
he's
out.
attractive?
I mean, I'm not that
Who?
into him, but I
know.
know that she has to deal
We
with
did
a
this
lot
last
of
time.
cyberbullying from his fans. He has a lot of like
God.
really
Really? I don't know if
crazy
anybody wants to
female
look up, pull up
fans.
a Dean Ambrose
I'm
or
looking.
John
He's
Moxley.
I can pull that up for you, but let's not forget that when they met this Craigslist guy, they had an entire production crew with them.
Exactly.
So let's not
Exactly.
worry that they were gonna be harmed in any way.
If there's anything I realized too,
Wait,
working
that's such a good
working
point.
in
And
reality TV,
George probably doesn't want to buy toys on Craigslist because he doesn't know where they've been.
I have bought, and first off, I have bought action figures
no, I'm not that into
on
them.
eBay before. But never, I don't think I ever bought them used. I always bought them brand new.
They're in the box.
I'm looking
I
at
have bought, I
Dean.
have
Still
bought
don't
books
know.
on eBay
You
before.
still don't know. Well, speaking of buying
Yeah,
things
she can do better,
online.
right? She can do better, right?
I'm just not that into him. This is like no.
Oh.
So not what I would have pictured her.
Careful, you'll get the hate tweets.
Oh well, here he looks cute and normal.
Yeah, he's cute. He's an attractive guy when he like washes his
All
hair.
these other pictures, he's making these crazy faces, and
That's
he
his
looks.
thing. He's the lunatic fringe.
Oh,
He's
Okay,
unhinged.
keep in mind
He
that
looks
this
handsome
guy
here.
Oh, that's
used
sexy.
to wrestle in Combat Zone Wrestling in like barbed wire and
Oh,
crazy matches that no
okay.
one ever expected him to make
Don't
it to the
come
WWE.
for me! Don't come for me, Dean Ambrose fans.
Oh, I love it. Well, Rosa's Bobby, get some cameras. Let's move on to
This is
that
so
because
weird.
this is pretty outrageous. It's weird because Rosa is eating a lot of sweets and he seems to have a problem with that. This is one of those edited conversations. And I'm thinking that I thought his problem with it was just that he was concerned about the health of the baby. That does not end up being the reason. But he's kind of not even giving her that much like what for about it. And she just takes it really to heart. And he's gotten these cameras, which are, as a dad to be, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, she's thinking about this. She had said she wanted to baby proof. And he's got the cameras. She's not happy about that either. What did you guys make of this entire storyline?
I would not be happy at all.
I feel
But
like
did
a
you
little
buy that
foolish.
he wasn't really insulting her though?
No, I don't know. I think I wouldn't care. Like, that is not going to keep me from eating what I want if I were Rosa. If you want to put cameras, that's fine. You're just going to watch me eat more.
Right.
I wouldn't
Well,
care.
that's what they ended up doing.
Well, I thought the entire storyline was fake as hell, and I was offended as a viewer.
It looked cheesy.
But also, if it were even legitimate, I thought it was really stupid and offensive because they made it out to seem like Bobby was trying to keep tabs on what she was eating, and then it's like, oh no, I was trying to keep tabs on myself, but subconsciously, like, no. A, it was stupid. B, it was so fake. C, if it was real, I'd be pissed.
Yes.
That's how I
Rest
feel.
your case.
Yes. And Rosa did when she went to eat with the girls, she did kind of make it out to be that like he was food shaming her and all this. And I thought, oh my gosh, Rosa, if you don't want people to hate on your man, don't exaggerate the situation. Like, I felt like when she was sitting with the girls, she knew that what she was saying was exaggerated. She knew that he wasn't really worried about how she's going to look. He really doesn't seem like that kind of guy either. The more I see of him, the more I like him. Yeah?
He used to be very
Is
skinny,
the jury
though.
still out?
Well, he
Jury's
did.
out for me.
It does look like he's gained a few pounds. I feel like we can tell.
Compared to that photo of him pumping iron, he definitely gained some lbs. You can see it in his face. Like, there's some people that, just like my boyfriend, like if he gains 1 pound, I can literally see it in his face right here, like in the cheeks. I'm not even kidding. It's crazy. And if he loses it, same thing.
Yeah.
But that's him, Bobby. It's all right here in the jowls.
Oh, Bobby, I think it's sweet that you gained some sympathy weight.
I mean, all men do. That's why it's like a common known
Don't make
thing.
sense, though.
Right?
It don't make sense. No, because you're eating what they're eating because it looks good because they're eating, and you're like, I'll have one of those too.
Aww. Well, and then she tried to trick him. That I thought was pretty funny. And of course, the storyline wasn't playing out well anyway, so I'm glad they didn't take the time to show her like fake. Well, she wasn't fake putting the whipped cream in her mouth. She was really eating all that stuff. But that was just really kind of more
Oh, I'm surprised you don't like whipped cream.
escalation of the. I know, because frosting is my favorite food. But I hate whipped cream. Whipped cream is like fake frosting.
You know what's funny?
Yes.
It's just
I
like
love
sugar and air.
I hate whipped cream, but I love Starbucks whipped cream. There's something
You
about
know
their
what?
whipped cream that is amazing.
My friend who's a chef makes amazing homemade whipped cream. Like that is
That's
the
like the
whip-
real stuff.
Oh my god, it's straight up cream, sugar, and vanilla extract, and it's beyond.
Like I've never done like the whipped cream in my mouth.
Yeah.
I've never done
It's
that in
so
my
gross.
life.
Whipped cream in a can is gross.
I mean,
It melts.
I will sit with like a little canister of the Pillsbury frosting, which is also vegan, by the way. It's made with soy, and I will just eat that with
Me
a spoon
too.
and eat the whole thing in one night and
too.
hate myself. But the thought of like spraying whipped cream directly into my mouth makes me really grossed out.
I've definitely done it in my youth, but it's
So I don't know
gross.
what the difference is, but
All of that just sounds
Christy, do you
disturbing.
like fondant?
no, fondant is made different. It doesn't have as much good stuff in it because it's supposed to just look good and be like cuttable and stuff. And I know James has fondant
to
on the
stay
brain
put.
because he is wedding planning right now,
Yes,
right,
James.
Is that where I don't know a lot of straight men that even know what fondant is.
I don't know what that is.
But when you said you like icing, that was the first thing that came to mind because I don't want fondant on my cake at all, and I
There you
hate
go.
the way it tastes, and it's literally like just for show.
Yes,
It's like,
it is.
This
Gross.
looks pretty, but it's really
You like have
edible
to
but
peel
not
it off.
edible. It's
Yeah.
like those little almonds that they give you at weddings.
Yes.
Well-
They're like stale.
You could do the fake cake thing. They'll just cover cardboard with fondant and then get real cakes that are actually yummy. Just saying.
You're a genius.
Genius.
All right, that's right. I've
Did
done,
you do
I've
that?
done no, because my wedding only had 4 guests, so I just had a
did you
tiny
elope?
little cake. No, we had it here in Santa Monica, but just with only our parents. Our parents flew out.
Oh my god. See, that's what I want to do.
Yeah, so I didn't need
Not that I'm engaged. FYI.
Hint, hint, somebody. Well, let's go back to Soraya and Paige because we know Paige ain't getting married anytime soon. And they have a couple incidents where her mom can, of course, tell. This is my thing. Of course, Paige, your mom is going to be able to tell that there's something going on with you. She's going to be able to tell things aren't cool between you and Kevin. Like, I don't talk to anyone about relationship stuff, and not my mom either, really. But if there was something bothering me about my relationship, I know that she would know instantly. Probably just over the phone in like the first 60 seconds we were talking.
Right.
Moms know.
Yeah.
That's why her mom kept pestering her, because her mom knew.
I like her mom.
And she was super moody and bitchy to her mom, so her mom definitely knew something was up.
right?
Like storming out of that restaurant and walking down the street and leaving, like
so dramatic.
I just thought, because it was like she was the one. I was like, oh, I need to talk to my mom. I want to talk to my mom. I want to say, mom, cool. I took my mom out to lunch, whatever. It's like you're walking out and you're the one that pretty much invited her. You're the guest. You know what I mean? Or I'm sorry, the mom's the guest. So it's like you're the one walking out on her.
Yeah.
Come on.
And it sort of seemed a little bit too like maybe Paige wanted to talk to her but didn't want to do it on camera.
Oh.
Maybe, but her mom, not knowing any of this, kept asking her, what's going on, what's going on, what's going on? And that's where it came from. Like, she kept saying, like, you're embarrassing me in front of everyone. I think she just maybe didn't want to talk on camera. So, you know what? Let's just go to that because I'm so mad about it. Speaking of her not talking on camera, we don't know when they broke up or how or where or why because we didn't see it. We've gone through this entire relationship with them. We watched them get engaged on the air, and yet I can only imagine that Paige would not let us see this happen. Of course, production wants to be there and wants to do it, whatever. I'm guessing she did it in some way when they weren't there or something so that it wasn't covered. And I am not cool with that. If you sign up for something like this, you're signing up to display your whole entire life, and I hate that we did not get a breakup. I hate it.
Especially that they voiced over the conversation with her and her mom with a really poorly done voiceover, like, me and Kevin aren't getting along. It's like, no, what did you really just say?
Do you think she had said, me and Kevin broke up?
Yes. And like they were still probably living together at the house, and that's why that whole thing was so weird, and she was in tears and very emotional.
I agree. What do you think, Paulina?
I'm gonna have to agree with you. I didn't notice it until you said it, of how the jump from, because it caught me off guard when she goes, oh yeah, we're over. When we see the mom come and say hi to Kevin, and then we don't see him anymore, and all of a sudden she's packing her things. I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? You know, we didn't get to see that conversation. As a viewer for the show, we want the drama, we want the entertainment, and like you said, if you're gonna sign up for that, you know, you have to display those things. If not, then don't be on a show.
How pissed was production that they didn't get a breakup, and that they probably were like, well, we need you to recreate it, because they used to do that. They used to do that on the hills and stuff. Make them like shoot stuff after it already happened in real life. They'd be like, well, we have to shoot it, and they'd have to like act out something that already had happened. And they made people do that with breakups. So I guarantee production asked them to do that, and she was probably like, hell no.
Yeah, but how awkward was
wouldn't
that
have been that
conversation
hard.
too?
That conversation
Because all
was
they
so
would have had
awkward.
to show is like him taking off his mic. I'm sure at some point in the season they filmed him take off his mic, and they could have been like, me and Kevin broke up, and just show him like taking off his mic, and that would have been it. Because it would have been like, oh shit, he doesn't want to be filmed. They don't want this on the air. He obviously doesn't want their conversation being heard. He's taking his mic. He's leaving. Boom. That's all it would. That's all you could.
You're so
that's
smart.
it.
Yes, James.
I'm an editor and a
and they couldn't
filmmaker.
even give us that.
You know what I just
Come
thought
on.
of when Fox like ripped off her mic a few weeks ago?
Oh,
She
yeah.
wasn't in this episode at all.
She was not.
That was
and
weird.
remember, we hadn't really seen Mandy and even Marie that much either, and they just kind of showed up as supporting characters in this, which I don't like either. I want to know what's going on with Mandy. She just signed. She's the one that's experiencing something different right now than the rest of the ladies. I want to see what she's going through. I love her friendship with Eva. I love Eva. I want to see them. Want to see them. Want to see them.
Right, especially
on.
because Eva was a big part of the overall storyline last year. It's like, well, you brought her back again, and you're just dropping it. Like, we need a update.
Yeah, give us all the information, please. Come on. I did like in Paige and her mom's conversation where her mom explained, like, I'm worried about you. It sounded like she worried that she's going to wake up in the morning and read the paper that Paige has done something crazy or something. And the other thing she said that was really interesting was that she's worried that someone's going to get a story on Paige. Like, I think she's worried that people will target Paige, and I think Paige does like to party, and she does like to drink a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there are things that people are privy to that could get her in a lot of trouble if they got out there.
And I'm wondering if this conversation's on the heels of her getting in trouble, stuff that we don't know about.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that didn't come out in the public that we don't know about. Or, you know, there was the whole thing with her and Fox
Getting kicked out of the bar.
in Baltimore. So that's an example of when her mom said, like, people trying to get a story on you. It's kind of in that vein. And, you know, maybe she got in trouble for drinking, or, you know, who knows?
Yeah.
I'm sure it's stuff we don't know about, but Mom said it.
Well, I hope I never open TMZ Sports one day and see that Brie Bella has crashed her scooter.
No.
Which she and Brian finally Keon got it fixed or whatever. You know what? I believed Keon. He seemed like an honest guy. I feel like it probably worked all the time and he got it there and Renee tried to rev it up and it didn't work and I felt bad for him. But so they got their scooters and it's really cute how Renee and Brie went riding off into the sunset.
First off, I like that whole thing where like Brian was like, all right, I'm going to honk every time you lie. And just start honking. Like, okay, you're lying. You're on the road 4 times, honk.
Helmets are not included. Honk.
He can be like a little bit of a jerk sometimes, but it's never enough.
How dare you?
Well, it's like never
He's a
enough to
saint.
really make you that upset. And I'm thinking if they ever did have anything of him really being an ass on camera, they would definitely show it to us. So if that's like as sassy as he gets, then I guess it's probably
I feel like
okay.
he's just more of like the what's sort of like the snarky. Like we hear a lot of
Yeah.
snarky comments from him.
When he delivers his humor, it's super dry, and you're like, is he serious? He's kind of a
Laugh
jerk.
all the time. I think
No, he and Nikki's relationship is pure comedic
It's
gold
comedy.
to me.
Well, she is shocked. I feel like at first when she saw Renee and Brie pulling up on the scooter, she was like, "Oh, fun, cute," and then she's like, "Wait a minute, I forgot I'm supposed to have a
I
problem
thought
with
that
this."
was the most precious visual where like you see all these cars and you see little blonde Renee and little brunette Brie and their scooters and just like, oh, look at us, like we look so precious. And I thought they looked
did. It was
precious.
cute.
And they knew they were cute. They were like, "Did you see us?" They were cute.
They were super cute. And I was going to say also very cute, but I found this mildly disturbing. Bobby and Rosa go to the doctor for their 20-week checkup. And she gets told to cut down on the cake and stuff because, baby could develop diabetes or whatever it is. But just like all the sonogram stuff and all that stuff just like creeps me out.
It does look like a little alien in there. Like
Yeah,
when people
dude.
get those very realistic 3D images of the baby and they're on the fridge, it's like vomit inducing because the baby's face it's never like a perfect round. It's all these creepy bumps and lumps, and you're like, ooh, alien
Oh,
baby.
that's so cute. Look at your cute baby picture thing.
Oh god, I hope none of my friends are watching. Hey guys.
Oh, well, all is well with Bobby and Rosa. They're both going to cut down on the sugar and they're going to be fine. And Paige makes that super awkward phone call to Kevin at the very, very end of the episode, which, I mean, I'm kind of surprised that he picked up at all. Maybe they told him he had to. He hadn't answered her text earlier in the day. But it was really sad. He was going to go back to the apartment and da-da-da. And you know what? He was a super nice guy, and he was good to her. And I can only think that millions of single women seeing him on this show will do just fine for Kevin. And we know he's a rock star.
Yeah.
And I hope that he finds a lady who appreciates him in the future.
Being a rock star, he won't be down for long.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got plenty of options to rebound.
Right?
Good for him.
George, what was your final takeaway on this Paige and Kevin thing?
My final takeaway, I don't even see it in your notes. You need to put these kind of things in your notes. And we know who he is. His name is Josh. Where he was, the tough enough winner. We covered it last season,
Thank you.
They showed a lot of him.
He was helping her move.
But it's just the way they shot it. Of course, it's all editing. Don't get me wrong. But just the way they shot it, they're very much so implying something between. At least that's how I took it, between Paige and Josh.
Right.
And I did some Christy Olson digging, and apparently, Paige got a new puppy.
Oh.
And then
Is this via Instagram investigation?
Yeah, Instagram.
Excellent,
And then if you go
excellent.
to the puppy's got an Instagram, and there's one person, and there's a lot of picture of the puppy, but the only guy that's in the picture is Josh. And then Paige has a lot of pictures of the puppy as well, implying that it's like it's both their puppies or like one. I don't know.
He's supposed to be engaged. He has a daughter that's like 4 or 5 with his, as we knew, his fiance. Remember last week when some guy was texting her to go to brunch and she was like, "Oh, I can't. I have a boyfriend." Do we think
I still thought that was Kevin, to be honest with you. But just again, it just the way they implied it and the way the editing was, they very much implied that there's just the way they showcase him. She would say something and then they'd cut to him. It's like, what are you guys trying to imply? But then, like I said, the dog thing, the dog has Instagram. He's on that Instagram. She's got a lot of pictures with the little puppy. I think it's weird.
I love it. I love the instant.
I'm sitting there on my phone. I'm like, dude, Chris would be so proud of me right now.
And I am, G-Herm. I am.
To play devil's advocate to this, sometimes people in wrestling share pets because maybe she's on the road and he takes care of it, and then when she comes home, he brings it to her, so on and so forth.
Interesting.
That could very well be. I don't think I would have my fiance sharing a dog with another lady, but that's
Oh
a good
hell
point,
no! I agree
James.
with you on that 100%.
And maybe he's not with the fiance anymore, but
I need to find out.
Christy's eyes right now are like.
and keep us all posted out there for what you all see. Does anyone have anything they would like to add about this episode?
No, I can't wait to move on to next week.
I know,
It was
right?
a dud for me. It was the dud.
It was kind of okay. I mean, I thought last week was a lot better. Just those little tiny things annoyed me. Like, I mean, I get it. Like, Bobby was like, "Oh, but I'm getting so fat. It's because I'm eating everything. Like, just eat it. Who cares? There's something called a gym. There's something called exercise that you can still do."
That's true.
Have you been to the gym lately, J.R.?
What are you trying to say?
Jim's Burgers.
Well, you're telling other people to go to the gym. I'm just saying.
That's why I wore my sweater because
See?
wanted to hide a certain
I
couple
know.
flaws that I have at the moment. I mean, still
Put
have
your pants back on.
I still have a little holiday weight. 2009.
And he
you know?
somehow thought wearing a
Thanksgiving
Been
2009.
following me around for years.
Oh, well, y'all, if it's all right with you, let's move into a little bit of news and gossip.
I always get excited for this segment because I never know anything. So I'm like, I
I
want
know,
to know.
I'm
I
like,
want to know.
no
I gotta
way.
be honest with you guys, and I've been kind of saying this all week. The ratings have been going down for this show very steadily with each episode, and I'm very, very upset to report that to you all. And as part of that, the news coverage and the interviews of all of them and all that kind of dwindles as well. So I'm hard pressed to find some things that you guys may not have heard about. But I did come across a couple. People, please watch the show. Tell your friends to watch the show. Tweet about the show. Everybody watch Total Divas all the time. We do not need this show to go anywhere anytime soon. Okay? That being said, we are going to see Rosa going into labor on the show. She did an interview this week, and she said, don't be looking at the answer for Total Throwback, George. And she said that they did shoot her all the way up to like going into the hospital and all that. They weren't in the room for the actual labor, but they did film everything else. However, it is unforeseen as to whether we'll see that this season because we know they got to go to Paris yet and they got to get engaged and do the whole thing. So I'm not certain that that'll be this season, but we will see Miss Jordan come to life. Come into life? Whatever. Anyway.
You just get out by babies.
It's too much. I can't do it. So Natty, as I told you all last week, was on the Hollywood Medium show on E! And allegedly connected with Owen Hart. I don't know. I don't watch the show often.
I watched it.
Did you?
What
What did you
happened?
think, James?
Okay, so the Owen Hart thing was a given. Well, like for starters, the guy who does the
Tyler.
who is the medium
Yeah.
claims they just send him to a place. He has no idea who he's meeting. He shows up at like what looks like a UFC gym because there's like an octagon and weird stuff.
Yeah.
And he starts talking to her, and he's like, or she's like, "Oh, I want to address 2 tragic incidences." And he's like, "Oh, I feel 2 different beings around, and one is gonna be Owen Hart. The other one was her cousin who died at 14 from the flesh-eating virus. That she was surprised because no one really knows about him. So like that was her thing. Like, oh, this guy has to be real because no one really knows about Matthew, and he knew about Matthew. But I thought it was okay. It wasn't like an hour just based on her. It was like she gets 15 minutes in this hour-long show, and there's 3 other celebrities that get 15 minutes.
I never liked those medium shows anyways.
Well, it was very clear. I completely believe in the whole medium thing. I have had an experience with that. But it was very clear that they just wanted to have it be Owen. Like, I don't know. It seemed a little bit forced to me, but you all can watch it and make your own judgments. Meanwhile, there may be some big news this week coming from one John Cena.
The news that he wasn't gonna wrestle this WrestleMania.
No, he's announcing something later in the week, he said.
Okay.
No, it's today. No, don't.
No, I swear to God, no joke. I went to like a
WrestleMania.
wrestling site, and the site was like.
He did say that he's not going to be wrestling at
Okay.
WrestleMania, but he also said that later this week he's going to be announcing some big news, something positive, not something negative.
That I didn't know.
And people are speculating as to whether this will be an engagement announcement or whether it will be related to his new reality show, American Grit. And just one more final piece of huge Total Divas news. I posted a photo of George and I last week in our Team Bella and Brie mode
saw
shirts.
that.
And Brie Bella totally commented on it.
What'd she say?
She posted little, like, the little kissy face emojis. So I'm pretty sure that was directed at George and his Brie
Oh my
mode
God,
shirts.
does Brie watch?
I know. Hi, let's go go shopping.
I just tagged her in the picture, so probably not.
Brie
But
mode.
thanks, Brie. You know,
I wore my Brie mode outfit on the wrong day. I wore it last night. I had my flannel tied around my waist and everything. And I was like, what am I doing? I should have worn this for Total Divas.
Oh, next week. We'll all have to dress up as divas someday. That would be so fun. I just want an excuse to do that.
Me too. Can we get, what's her name in here? Honeybee Eileen to do
Oh,
our makeup?
yes, to do our makeup.
Yes.
All right, we'll keep you all posted on that. Well, since we have no minutes left, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's have a little bit of a total throwback, people. This is a good one and one I've been waiting to do. If we rewind all the way to season 1, do you remember when Nikki was going to move in with John? She was very excited. And then she got handed a piece of paperwork, a cohabitation agreement that John wanted her to sign. Do you remember the cold language that was used to address Nikki in this contract? Was she referred to as friend, roommate, guest, or simply as person?
Guest.
Oh!
Does anyone
Wait,
else
did you
want to
get
weigh
that?
in? Oh, I thought you meant she got it right.
I thought it was like
She
yes.
did get it right.
Oh,
Yay!
I would have said
Megan Way!
Roommate.
You had that fast, girl. You remember
I
that.
just so vividly remember that, and I was like, "Oh hell no, he didn't."
Right?
He thinks he is so special and rich and things.
But he is, though. But he
It's
is.
hashtag rich people
Oh, by the way,
problems.
I do have something to say. I do have something else to add to the episode because I remember I was going to talk about it with you guys and I was going to save it for the show. When, like, Nikki was like, oh my God, you really got a scooter? And then Brian's like, well, you know, you don't really drive. I feel like if John was like, well, Nikki, you know, you just need to let them live their lives. If they want to ride a scooter, she'd be like, oh, okay. Like, I feel like she felt that way because John didn't have the time to say otherwise. Because she's always like that. She's always like that. Nikki's always like, negative. John's like, well, this and that. Oh, okay. Oh, and then they show her in the confessional. Oh, there he is, my man, always telling me, you know, guiding me the right way. My man always telling me, you know.
She acknowledges his wisdom. He's a
pretty smart guy.
Well, he is, and even after he made her sign that cohabitation agreement, he explained to her that it's because he takes care of his family, and there's health issues there, and he's told his family, like, I'm a crappy brother, but I'm gonna be a good provider.
I do remember when he said that, when he was like, you know, my family, this and that, so God forbid if something were to happen to them, like, I can never live with myself.
Right.
Right.
I remember.
Well, it was more about, you know, Nikki becoming evil and taking his money.
Protecting the ass.
We know she ain't gonna do that. She's had him buy into her enough stuff at this point that she could just sell it all off. She'd be fine. And she works too and has a job. Happy International Women's Day. All right, y'all. Well, I am so glad that you all have come and hung out with us today, and I want you to hit up all my co-hosts and myself and tell them where they can do that.
You guys can find me on Twitter at _Paulina Aguilar and on Instagram at Paulina M. Aguilar.
And you guys can find me, Megan Stecher, on Snapchat, Instagram, and Twitter. It's all at Megan Stecher, MEGANSTECHER.
Snapchat, Twitter, Instagram, G Hermoza, GHERMOZA. Hashtag ABTV Total Divas.
Yes, use that hashtag, people. And please also check out ChristyReports.com, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel at Christy Reports. There's some juicy, fun stuff there. And you know that we will be back next week to break down another episode of our favorite reality show, Total Divas. We will see you back here next week. Thanks for watching.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.